here today at National Animal Rights Day in Union Square Park.
All the animals in captivity, suffering.
Usually we like to keep the show upbeat and uplifting and positive, but it is a very sad day today as we are having a ceremony for animals that have just been discarded, thrown in the trash, or left to die by the animal agriculture industry or at auctions. When did Animal Rights Day get started?
It started in 2011. A gentleman by the name of Ilum started it all, and now it's in 23 countries, 23 cities. So, it's growing, and hopefully next year it'll be more and more, and it's a great event, It honors all the animals that die each year, that have no name, that are just considered property or a product, as opposed to a sentient being that had a life, that had feelings, that wanted to live, But at this event, people come together because it has more meaning. It's like something neutral that everybody can come together to. Put in that work. Check out the shirt. It's not just enough to be vegan. It's not just enough to be vegan. We got to be active. It's the best way to make changes, and as quickly as possible. So, let's put in that work, and we'll see what kind of changes we can make in another year from now.
Point is always speak it, even in moments where you're scared, even in moments where you're nervous. Always speak out for the animals, because whether you know it or not, people are listening and people will support it.
You don't own me. You don't own me.
Well, let's go. But I'm Gerald, and I can always have just what I want. She's the baddest, I would love to flaunt. Take her shopping, Yves Saint Laurent. But no, she ain't with it though. All because she got her own dough. Boss, if you don't know, she could never ever be a bro.
I'm here with Nicole. Nicole is a vegan and an animal activist, and I want to ask you, Nicole, what does this day mean to you?
I think the important thing about this day is taking a moment to see the things that we so often shield ourselves from seeing, which is the violence and reality of the animal agriculture industry, the animal testing industry, all of those terrible things that happen. We need to recognize and take a moment to really look at that. We try to be so strong and try to be so, sometimes put on a happy face to make it look appealing to others to be vegan. Like, no, it's great over here. Everything's sunshine and rainbows. But really, there's this cruel reality that we're also very in touch with, and we take a moment to grieve.
We are all animals. We are all living, breathing beings who share the same earth. We all feel pain and suffer when we are hurt or deprived of our lives, our families, our freedom. We all have the right to experience kindness, compassion, and dignity, considering that all living beings possess the same basic needs to survive, to seek happiness and pleasure and avoid pain, to live comfortably, to procreate, to create families. Animals are not the property or commodity of humans and are not theirs to use for their benefit or sustenance. So today we call for the protection of these rights. They must be recognized and defended by law as human rights are.
With Rocky and Jay, and you guys, I saw you guys holding animals, and I saw that was extremely emotional for both of you. I was standing on the sidelines. I can't even imagine, what it was to actually hold the animal. I want to ask you why you came out today and what this day means to you.
Yeah, I think this was particularly emotional for us in that we were both holding chickens, and we have at home 2 rescued chickens, one of them who looks an awful lot like the chickens both of us were holding, and we're both animal rights activists and animal rescuers, and this day to really recognize all of these victims and recognize them as individuals whose lives were lost. Definitely is a very emotional day, but I think for me, I particularly got emotional because so much of the time I'm seeing these things and feeling the same feelings that I'm seeing holding these dead animals here, and no one around me sees these victims. And so to be here surrounded by all of these incredibly passionate people who are experiencing these same emotions and recognize this grave injustice just as I do. It was a combination of the intense sorrow of what the animals have gone through and just the love of knowing that there's this amazing community working to change this.
That's why I came here, is to mourn their lives in public and to show that there is a movement of people out there that is going to, whether the world wants to see it or not, is going to force the world to confront the suffering and death that is hidden behind closed doors on farms outside, away from where people live. And yeah, that's why we're here, is to come out and force and show the world the suffering that we try to hide.
People are talking about this in the mainstream. It's not just us. Blackfish brought the plight of Lolita into the mainstream, and people who aren't necessarily wired like us are starting to think about the captivity of cetaceans.
We finally have a mayor who was elected to get these horses off the streets as one of his campaign promises. And that has not happened yet, but we're going to make it happen.
But you pushed all of that aside to come here today to stand for these animals, and that makes you a warrior and an activist and a person who is needed in the movement.
Considerando que todo ser vivo proviene de la misma fuente y que seguimos los mismos principios evolutivos.
He is a hero in real life and in our comic book, A Piggy's Tale, that we use to teach humane education. He's an animal with a disability, and being different is okay, being from far away is okay. And he inspires a lot of people to do the right thing all the time.
Like no fur, no leather, no wool, no feathers, no silk, and only cruelty-free food. And the animals say, I spent my whole life in cages.
What are you speaking about today?
I'm speaking about just everybody playing their part when it comes to sharing veganism. Like me, I share fitness a lot. I'm a personal trainer, but in doing so, I also preach the animal rights, portion of it too, because I feel like that's what kind of reinforces what we're sharing to people. So whether you're sharing fitness or food or fashion, you should always include the animal rights in there just to give a solid foundation to that. This is actually my first time coming here, holding the animal who's passed away. It just reminds you of what we're fighting for.
My whole life hooked up to my cheese. I crap, I know on here to scream. My baby's falling cause you wanted your ice cream. And then he's taken to a crate, tied up, doesn't know his fate. We'd be murdered just to end up on your plate. So open up the cages, we have way too much patience. Your apathy and ignorance are causing so much violence on such an organism. This is a taste of freedom, freedom from exploitation, oppression, mutilation. Liberate them all life on earth deserves to live. Break the fucking laws and set them free now.
And, there's just so many different things that each person can do individually. Like, I challenge you all to think about it, because we're in a deficit. If we don't change this future, our children are going to be raised in a society where there's going to be many animals that are going to be extinct. Our ocean is dying, the coral reef is dying. We need to really step it up.
Can we just be honest here? They got us paralyzed with fear and why? To divide and conquer genocide of the mind. Of course they want to uphold our Second Amendment rights. Tote our guns, live our lives, be prepared to uprise. But really we're kidding ourselves, because we're out here just killing ourselves. It's Armageddon. It's like nobody's getting it. Chasing money and power through greed and corruption. It's nothing against total global destruction.
Create vegan nights, create movie nights to empower and educate. Do not ever be ashamed and do not ever step down. The moment that you do, every animal's life is lost. It's vital that we do this. It's vital. Thank you very much. Go vegan, go vegan, go vegan. Go vegan.
On my own, walking these streets, when the darkness comes, I feel the grave, but I still believe,